Something that pisses me off is the way people treat lack of sleep. And the reason why, because the thing is that people wear a lack of sleep like a badge of honor. Like, oh, I didn't get any sleep last night. Or oh, I only got like 3 hours of sleep. And they gotta brag it off to everyone they know. And meanwhile, I'm here like getting depressed when I don't get enough sleep because I know what happens when the human body doesn't get enough sleep for an extended period of time because I've lived it. Because I have chronic insomnia, which means without some heavy-duty medication, I can't get a wink of sleep no matter how fucking tired I am. And because of, excuse my annoying cat, who you might hear meowing in these, shut up, bear. Anyways, and because of said chronic insomnia, I have ended up in the ER, the emergency room of the fucking hospital. And I hate it when, the worst is when people exaggerate how little sleep they've gotten. Like, I haven't slept in a whole week, and they're steady hands, and they don't look tired at all, and they're totally fine. As any other time I've seen them, and I'm like, bitch, if you hadn't slept in a whole fucking week, you would be having emotional meltdowns from anything. Your hands would be shaky as fuck. You'd have trouble forming simple, complete thoughts or sentences, and you might be hallucinating. Because guess what? When you go a long enough time without sleep, you start dreaming while you're awake, and I've experienced that firsthand. It is fucking terrifying. It's so stupid. I hate Hollywood depictions of mental illness to begin with, but I hate kind of the way people depict hallucinations. Like, it's when people first start like it depends, like, if you've gone a certain amount of time, it's hard to tell reality. You know, when you're hallucinating, especially auditory hallucinations, I haven't had any visual hallucinations that really had a lot of substance, as in as soon as I looked at them directly, they disappeared. It's mostly in the corner of my eye, or I only see it for a second, or, you know, so yeah, that's when it comes to visual hallucinations. And by the way, you can have more than just visual and auditory hallucinations because you have more than 2 senses. You can have hallucinations of any of your senses, and there are more than 5 senses, by the way, because you have the sense of, you have spatial awareness, so you can tell when someone or something is near you. You have bodily awareness, which that can't really hallucinate so much. Well, there is the phantom limb that is actually hallucinations from the sense of bodily awareness, where, in case you're wondering what that is, without looking, I could be like, okay, I'm going to touch my index finger to my nose. Ta-da! So, how else would I know with just those 5 senses? And another one is like the sense someone's staring at you, or the sense of time, sense of balance, etc. So, anyway, so one time, I was convinced that there was someone standing just behind me, just out of sight, and they were staring at me, and at first I thought it was my brother, because I had my headphones in, and I was doing something, and I was like, okay, just a second, Luke, I'm just gonna finish writing this sentence. And I take out my headphones, and I look, and there was no one there. And I heard my brother talking to my parents up on the top floor, and I was like, okay. Anyways, so, now, for auditory hallucinations, they don't, so yeah, talking back to the Hollywood thing, sorry, I get off topic very easily, but yeah, like, they don't start off hearing voices. You start off with sounds. You don't just straight up, and you can tell that they're not real because you're looking for the source and you have no source, like, at all. Like, the first couple of auditory hallucinations I got, and it is freaking creepy as hell, is I'd be trying to fall asleep alone in my apartment. My apartment, by the way, was a new building and had very good soundproofing, and the window was closed, the door was closed and locked, and from the corner that was farthest from any door or window, I was hearing someone breathing, and it sounded like a man breathing. I don't know how I could tell the gender, but I guess you can, like, it kind of sounds a bit different depending on because the larynx is along the windpipe, and that's how you can tell the difference between voice. Anyways, it sounded like an older man breathing from a part of my apartment that shouldn't have possibly been able to hear, as if it wasn't even muffled, it was like straight up, I could hear it, because my bed was close to that part, like, it was like, you know, maybe like 5 feet away from me where I was hearing it from, and there was no possible way that that sound could be coming from anything else other than someone breathing. So I knew it wasn't real, because in my head I'm like, there's nothing that could be breathing there, and I knew for a fact there wasn't a fucking man breathing there, because what was in that corner was my lazy boy chair, and underneath and behind it and all stuffed all around it is all of my art stuff, and then so there's no way someone could fit in there. Even so, I checked to double check, because I was it was freaking me out, and it wasn't stopping for hours. And that's the thing, you could have like one sound just repeating itself over and over again. And another one, I was on the bus one time and I kept on hearing my phone ringing, but I was staring at my phone in my lap, the screen was dark and I was staring at it, and then I look around and there was a few people sitting kind of in the same area of the bus, and they all had their phones out, so I knew it wasn't I was just tearing it in their pocket, and they were either texting, or they were playing games, or, you know, or they were even talking on the phone. So there was, and besides my ringtone, I haven't met a single other person who has the same ringtone as me. I've only ever heard that ringtone from my phone. So, and I just kept on hearing it over and over and over again the whole bus ride home, which was half a fucking hour. And you know, I was just so freaking anxious by the end of it because it just would not stop. Anyway, so the hallucination is not fucking fun, okay? And they aren't just, I haven't had any voices yet, except for like maybe like calling my name, but that's fairly common from what I've heard, especially when you're falling asleep. You kind of almost hear faintly people calling your name, so I don't think that was anything special for me. But yeah, anyways, lack of sleep, not fun. Stop fucking bragging about it. And people almost think I'm lesser, like they look down on me for needing 10 hours of sleep at night. Like, they think they're better than me because they can get by with less sleep. And I'm like, I used to be able to before I got put on the heavy-duty medication that I need to sleep at all. And I'm on 2 different serious medications for sleep. And otherwise I can't sleep at all. And because of that medication, though, it's either get no sleep or get 10 hours of sleep with it. And if you get less than 10 hours of sleep, you're drowsy all day and feel sleep deprived. So I would rather have to get 10 hours of sleep at night, but be able to sleep at night, than be able to have like freaking 3 or 6 and still being able to go. And the thing is that with sleep deprivation, it's more your body is slowing down your mind while your mind is slowly going crazy. Like, your body, your joints are sore, and you feel sick to your stomach almost, and you get headaches, and it's even migraines. I used to get migraines so bad all the time. I got migraines so bad, I would be so desperate for relief that I've developed such a high tolerance to ibuprofen that for a regular headache, I need to take 4 extra strength. And by the way, 1 extra strength is the equivalent of 2 regular strength. So yeah, don't do that shit. I was dumb. But when you're exhausted and you can't think straight and you're just experiencing so much fucking pain, you kind of get desperate and you kind of lose track of how many fucking pills you're taking, even if it's like closer to 12 extra strength. And shut up, I know, my liver hates me, I know, shh. But I haven't had migraine issues in a while, so I think my liver's healing, hopefully. I mean, livers can regenerate, so anyways. But yeah, stop glorifying lack of sleep, because honestly, it's really not good for you. And especially, don't go exaggerating, because I hate when people exaggerate how much like, there's this one guy who's like, I hate when people say I haven't slept in 2 weeks, and I'm like, okay, you better fucking get yourself to a hospital, or, you know, to fucking Guinness, because guess what, the longest any human being has survived, and I mean survived, without sleep is 11 days. 2 weeks has 14 days, hun, so you're fucking lying. And I know there's been all sorts of stories, but none of them have been confirmed by doctors who have investigated the issue. The longest confirmed amount of time without sleep is 11 days. And at the end of that stint, the dude who did it had to go to the hospital. And like I've said, I had to go to the hospital after 5 days straight with no sleep, and a month leading up to it getting less and less sleep every night. So yeah, no, I don't recommend it. And a lot of people think 5 days isn't that much. You try it first of all, and if you feel like you have tried it, because another thing that people don't realize is that, now I obsessively watch the clock, which is why I know whether or not I've gotten no sleep or not. But this has happened to me before, where I felt like I didn't fall asleep, but then I look at the clock and several hours have passed, and only felt like 5 minutes. And that, you know, that phenomenon where, like, oh man, I'm just gonna close my eyes for a second in the morning, and then you open them and it's like 9 o'clock, and you're like, what? I just closed my eyes for 2 seconds. So a lot of people think that they're not sleeping when they actually are. So yeah. But I know for a fact, because I obsessively watch the clock, because I have mild OCD. I think I haven't gotten it diagnosed, but I already have 4 or 5 diagnosed mental illnesses, so we'll have to see. Some psychiatrists think I have it, other psychiatrists don't think I have it, so I have to have a confirmation. With mild OCD, very strongly think I do, where I always gotta know what time it is. So, this minute, sorry for the long videos, I talk too much, but thanks for watching, and sleep well, everyone.